Today is February 8th, 2024. I realized there's this professional who said that he he apparently used to uh, lose a lot. And then his wife said, "Look, we have to pay the bills. Either you get a job and do something else, or we can't survive, right?" What a wonderful wife he has. She sticks with him, thick and thin. Wow. She loves him. So, well, for me, my ex-wife, she left. Okay. But she's a good woman, and she has every reason to do that. So now I'm looking at the situation. I've blown so many accounts, uh, so many trading challenges. Right now, even though it's cheap, it's like 2 buffets per challenge, but still, I've lost a lot of challenges. Um, then I'm asking, I'm really like digging into things now. I'm like looking at the chart right now. Now I'm looking at it. So what I have boiled down to is this: there are rules, okay? So these rules are based on every candle that's right there. When I look at these candles, why did it do that? Why did that candle do this? Okay? Now I'm really looking into it. I'm really, really looking into it now. So, what is this moving average doing to it? And what is this support and resistance line impacting it? Another professional will talk about this. And based on how he says it, I mean, he seems to have a fairly decent in-depth knowledge of what he's essentially disclosing. The iceberg, in a way, of iceberg principle is that, what does the stock do when it gets to this point of support and resistance? What is it doing? How is it behaving, right? So that means that when I look at these little candles, why is it this big? Why is it this small? And why is this next candle smaller than the previous one? And why is the next one red? And what does this red represent? What's it trying to do? So when I look at that red, I'm thinking to myself, okay, so it climbed, but now it's changing direction. That's what it's saying. Either in a momentary, a minor trend reversal, or it's going to be a major trend reversal. Essentially, that's it. Minor trend reversal is essentially equating to the fact that it is a range bound situation. Everything is range bound, really. When it's trending, it's range bound to that trend. When it's range bound, it's range bound to that range bound condition, right? And so now now I'm starting to look at every little candle that's out there. I'm trying to figure out, why are these candles behaving in this manner? And when I look at it, then I can find reasoning behind it, which will most likely reveal the story behind these candles. Actually, these candles are displaying what it's saying, but it's like the written, it's written in in Hebrew, right? It's written in Hebrew, and somebody who grew up in the U.S., who's used to the alphabets, cannot read that. It's there, it's saying something, but it's difficult to understand what is. Why are some of these Hebrew words longer than others? And what is that paragraph trying to say? What is this chapter is attempting to say? So the whole book is the history of the market, and each of that history is an ongoing building block of encyclopedia of information that occurs on a minute, on a tick by tick basis. Of every instance is being recorded of what the intent is with that particular security. So now I'm looking into this. Now, when I look at this, I look at the previous part, and it has this little uh, uh, up here, and then it dropped. Okay, then it languished for a little bit in a sideways transaction, and then it started to come back up, and then it touched on that area where the previously there was a high there, and it sure enough, when it touched that, there was a behavior, that same behavior which Tim Sykes talks about. I mention him because I've learned about this concept, which is things repeat. And so what happened is, sure enough, it didn't just whiz right by, it actually touched and then dropped immediately. And then, and as it started to build up, it popped right up, and then it respected again and started to go back up to the next support and resistance. And so sometimes the resistance is ignored, sometimes it is respected because there is a overwhelming contribution of the current state of the matter that is overriding the resistance and support that is immediately before it. And so these candles are now displaying and telling a story, unraveling it, like the words in a Bible and written in Hebrew.